So here's more autobiography. Let me think. So I was working for the concessionaire in Yosemite from August, and over the winter, like a big chunk, maybe 2/3 of the community went away because there's like not as much open in the wintertime. And for the first time in my life, I was without a large available pool of women. and for the first time in my life, I had no action, and I didn't like it at all. So when spring came and all the new women came, right away I found my kid's my kid's mom, who I ended up marrying, and what can I say about that? So she gets there in spring and gets hired in the burger stand, and right away I get her a better job, and then I get her an even better job right away. She starts working with me, or in security at least, not right with me, but in the same department. And when I first told her she should do it, she's like, "No way, I can't do that." I'm like, "Don't be ridiculous. Of course you could." And she's like, "I don't know how to write well enough." I'm like, "I'll help you with that," and they help you, because they really help me write a lot better. Mostly what helped me write better is just doing a lot of writing, a lot of talking to people on the internet. Okay, so getting back to working for the concessionaire, and so I met my kid's mom in spring of '86, and we got married in January of '87, and had Irene in April. And what else? So once Irene was born, they kicked us out of the housing in Yosemite. So once again, the Yosemite Indians were getting kicked out of the park. So we came and found, or they went to L.A. Irene and their mom Sandra went to L.A. and stayed there with Sandra's mom and helped her while Irene was a newborn. And so then it was my job to find new housing so that they could come and live here, because we were married. And so I came down here and right away found this place right here on the street where I live. And it was a really cute little place, and it was only $250 a month. It had two bedrooms. And the guy said that 10 people wanted it, but he was going to give it to me because he liked me. And of course, I'm security officer, firefighter, and EMT in Yosemite, and I speak well and I look well, and I have a new baby and starting a new family. We're married, yeah, all that. It's like, wow, the guy really liked me. He's like, he knew I had it going on, and so yeah, we moved out of the park, or we got a place out of the park in, let's see, Irene was born in April. It took about a month. In May, I think they came. In May of 1987. In May of '87, we were living here on the same block that I live on now. And right away, I hadn't been living there that long, and Sandra's relative told me about this deal that I could get, where if you have land and a structure to live on and electricity, they will give you a free well and septic. And in today's dollars, that would have been like close to 30 grand. And I was like, I could get 30 grand for free. And I was like, I wanted to get this place. I wanted to have land anyway. So I told my landlord I was looking for land, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this place across the street." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've been up there. It's really nice." So he um he showed it to me, and I was like, "Wow, I really like that." And that's this place where I'm at. And he he said, "Wait 3 weeks, and the listing ends. When the listing ends, I'll sell it to you without having a realtor, and you'll save that thousands of dollars." And I'm like, "Okay." So he ended up he had it listed for like 43, and he brought it down to 35,000, and I countered with the offer of 30,750, and he took it. And um, I had to put 20% down, which was like seven grand. And I had it. I've been working, and um, and then it was $317 a month for 10 years. And so I bought this mobile, okay, that was in '88. So I didn't do much to it for a while, and then I cut in a road, and then I bought this mobile, and I drug this mobile up here in 1990. Okay, so I got to go back to working in Yosemite. So I worked in Yosemite full time until spring of '88. I think that's when it was. Spring of '88. And I quit. It was just too hard. They were just making it. They were just making me uncomfortable, and I didn't see any potential for advancement, and so I left. I left the company, and what else? Oh, then I got hired on Park Service that same year, and got hired in campground maintenance. So I think February or March of '88, after they kick us out of the park. No, I worked for another year after Irene was 1 before I left the park. So what else? Where am I at now? Okay, so I worked for the Park Service in campground maintenance from my first season. That was summer of '88. I think from May '88 to like October. And I liked it. It was fun. It was a fun job. It was good money. And then you got to collect unemployment. And unemployment was like half your pay. It was good. It was good money. And the rent was cheap. It was easy. And plus Sandra worked. And so we would take turns taking care of the kid, and we had day. Oh, I also once they stopped working in security, I was like, you know what? We took our kids to daycare in Yosemite. That's right. And when we were both working up there, and what else? Well, there's some chickens out there. So let's see. We took our kids to daycare in Yosemite. They must have been about. Paul was probably just a few months old, and Irene was not even 2. So well, that didn't last long, and so you know what I saw right away. It was like I thought that Sandra should get into early childhood education because it was perfect. Because she could go work in a daycare center and take our kids, and then she could go get her daycare classes and advance in that field, and our kids didn't have to be away from their mom. Well, she was working and helping take care of other kids, so but it all made sense because she was still with them. So one thing I got to give their mom, she's always been a really hard worker. I work hard, but not like the discipline like she does, man. She busts her ass, and I don't. I take it easy most of the time, especially now. Anyway, so what else? What was I talking about there? Mom? So yeah, Sandra got into early childhood education. So that worked out pretty good. But we split we separated in July of 1990. So I just took us from kind of the skeleton form or the outline from 1985 to 1990. So I'll stop here. Maybe I'll just go back and forth or back in there a little bit and think of some different things that happened. Okay, so we we came and rented on the street that I'm on now, and we bought the land in '88, and we separated in '90. Irene was 3 and Paul was 1. So I had like done daycare, especially when I was on my off season, while Sandra worked, and so there was times when I was the primary caregiver, and the thing was I was not emotionally available as a spouse. I was great as a dad, but the thing is I was never in love with their mom. I was in love with the fact that she was a Yosemite Indian, and she was good enough to be with. She was hot enough to be with, but I was never madly in love with her. So what do I got to say about that? So that's the reason our marriage didn't work. It wasn't anything against her. I was not capable of love at that time. I had not figured things out enough. And that, I was damaged growing up. My mom beat me so that I thought that I was going to die. And that messes a person up. So, what? Where am I now? I'm trying to think about the relationship I had with their mom. It was not good. We broke up because we got in a fight over money, but it was inevitable because I was not happy and I was not a good husband, and I didn't know how to be. I knew how to be happy. I was happy, but I didn't know how to be a good husband, and I didn't appreciate femininity like I did now. But the overall problem was that I wasn't in love with her. But I wasn't in love with her because I wasn't capable of love at that time. So the marriage ended, and let's see. It was 1990. The marriage ended in 1990, and in 1990 I was working for the Park Service, and we had this land, but we were still living there on the bottom of the hill in this other home. And when she left, I already had this mobile home up here, when she left, I was like, I'm just gonna go live in that. You know, I didn't have no water, but I had electricity, and I had the well. I mean, I had the mobile up here, and it was hell living without water. I struggled. I lived without water for 2 years until I got that thing from Indian Health Services. So, but that was so I applied for the. I bought the land knowing about that program. And as soon as I had the mobile up here, I applied. And I brought the mobile up here in 92. No, 1990. That's right. I know, it was 4th of July weekend, July 7th, 1990. I have video of it. Driving this house through town. I should put that on the internet. That'd be great. I'd like to find that stuff. What else? So, let me think of other things during that time. I remember going whitewater. Well, it wasn't whitewater. It was. I just went and I took a one-man raft earlier in the year than when the whitewater rafting companies come, because I always had this thing that I was that I could never get hurt in water, that I wouldn't die in water, and I used to do crazy stuff. Yeah, it was crazy from the time I was a baby. Like when the first time my parents took me to the ocean, to the beach, they put me on the sand and I ran directly into the water. And they had to stop me because I was was barely old enough to walk, but I was like, I'm going in the water. But they started teaching me how to swim before I could walk. I remember being in the pool and having them throw me towards each other, and then I would swim in between them. And I learned how to swim like before I could walk, and I just always knew how to swim. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me that people can say I don't know how to swim. Like, and if you can walk, you could swim. I would think. I mean, it's just psychological. Yeah, I didn't. People have told me over the years, "Oh, I don't know how to swim." I don't understand that. So that. I'll just say that was my my autobiography, chapter 6.